Hi everyone. Tonight is just going to be about a dream I just had. It was quite the dream. Basically, I was living with family, with friends, with people trying to sell something. Everyone was trying to sell something. It was capitalism. Everyone was doing something. Everyone was being part of something. Everyone was wanting to contribute or be part of something more. Yet there was an awfully dead chill into the air, because everyone didn't understand, didn't stop to really talk, didn't really want to show anything other than what they believed in their head. And it showed so many resemblances to this society. You don't know what everyone's doing. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know anything about them. They're completely different than you. You take it as that, because they could do anything to you and you could do anything to them, and it comes down to that. So what happened in my dream? I'm going into these little box houses, like cardboard box homes. And what is there? It's like this race, not the Amazing Race, but you feel this pressure on you. And you have to go through the house, these cardboard houses. And you have to look for things. Look for food to survive, cans and other goods. It's like you're homeless, but you're looking through people's shit. And then you find a laptop. You have your own laptop. You have a small backpack. But then you go to the store and they offer you a bigger backpack, but you'd say no, because you just live in your life, but they offer you stuff. And you go to these areas where they're selling what they want, and the main thing is you go into this cardboard home and you do your bit on the computer, and it's the same thing every time. But what is it? Your mind's thinking differently. You're coming to new conclusions. And so you do things like you play Pokemon, you sell, you teach, you have healthcare, you do all that. But really what I found interesting was no one was aware, no one was awake. And with that, I started to see it. They all knew what you did not. There was something controlling them that was so ugly. So ugly it was destroying everyone. They all knew. It was an onion. It was more than that, though. It was how many layers to society there is, how many upper echelon spots there are, how many of them know so much information that they hold against the public. They hold all this hate inside, and they want to remove everyone. They want World War III. They want to destroy everything. But then I see it's not them in control at all. It's this whole other ideal. And I called it God at one time, but now I see that I was not in my own mind. The thing controlled me. And that thing made me say saw. But I'm getting to the part of my dream that shocked, amazed me. Because I'm looking through stuff, going to eat my fill. I don't know what I looked like in this dream, but it was different. I was surviving. And I come across the same thing in every cardboard house. And I crawl into trailers and all these other things, and I'm surviving, and I have this great fear because all these women and all these children are getting destroyed by their families. And then I see it. Limbs cut off. Bodies, parts thrown everywhere. It was like a meat parlor, but I couldn't see it before. Why? Because they showed me what is controlling us. It's this sick saw. Because what is it? All this information, all this power is being held by the upper echelon. All the healthcare. They are this sociopathic society. And I saw it. Saw was controlling the sociopathic society. He didn't care about anything other than showing there's no point to living, there's no point in death. And then he mentioned something else. The aliens don't believe it any differently. Saw doesn't believe in death. Aliens don't believe in death. And it hit me. I had a gadget placed on my brain to make me see this. That's the whole point of Saw. You see your death. You see everything before you die. So I saw Arlo, I saw all these people so stressed out about it. But really, they were stressed out about Saw. Now Saw is controlling the 1%. They're doing this to the population. They see what they can do as a sociopathic society. And they see how it's this onion of information that needs to be peeled back, and they don't help at all. They don't help those in less fortunate positions. They just allow the system to regulate. And slowly, everyone dies. It doesn't matter how long you have. We all have different amounts of time, but everyone dies equally. Some people in more pain, for sure. But it takes the same amount of struggle to die. You just don't realize it. And the death is equal in every amount, because it's that one point where you can no longer breathe and you suffocate. But what else can I say? I see Saw. I see it's the same gift. He's left a world that has gizmos attached to every individual, slowly going off. And we have to figure out how we don't destroy it. And some people are bigger, they have knowledge about how to stop themselves from dying or feeling it. They believe in a system where they can get away with life because they work, because they have a feeling they can do whatever they want, and they get away with life because they don't see it. But death is actually knocking on their door, they just don't want to answer it. And death is the only real way to win. So what happened? The universe shows us we have to go deep space. Will Earth make it? I don't think so. I just saw it. Because of something that happened. The way it is. The way it's been made. The future couldn't handle what was actually being done. They couldn't find a way to show true love. They couldn't show a way to give hope. What they did was mask it. What they did was show sweet things. But in the end, it's this guy, it's Saw they created. And they called him God. And they called it in Genesis. They created the Genesis. They made Genesis after the New Testament, unfortunately. And it's this upper echelon, this 1% that got all the favors done in all the chapters of the Genesis. It was all this upper 1% shit. That's what New Genesis and Old Testament was. The New Testament was equality for all and equal information to all and showing our children what needed to be done. Because in the end, by hiding it, making a puzzle, making it so we have to think without even knowing it's a puzzle, it's going nowhere. And they think that by making a puzzle, by making all these grand schemes, they're actually going to get away with it. Because, yes, I see how they see the mind. I see how they see psychology. I see how Freud would baby talk the sick. He couldn't handle it. I saw how all the psychologists baby talk. They can't stand what they're doing. I see it all. I see how they've gone into such a religious way of doing humanitarian psychology. It's just the same old breathe and let go, and that's my job. Yeah. And everyone's cheating at their jobs basically, but do they really care knowing that Saw is here? Saw is waiting for them to die. Because they're not as high up in their society as they tend to be. It's how the future would blame anyone who saw it, but it's not what I saw. It's what they shared with me in a dream. Who has the power to make dreams up? Is that something the French do? Is it something America does? Create dreams? Because this dream was pretty real. I was starving, I was trying to eat, I was trying to survive, and then I saw it. Playing Pokemon. It's just this game that everyone is so dead they can't talk, they can't share a thing. And maybe they share it with other people, but it's really sick. They're all these Saw people. They all think like Saw. And it's really a disturbing place to be. I like this dreamy state. I want to believe in all these different feelings, not just Saw. I didn't want it to be just Saw. And that's why he had to kill me. Because I didn't want to be just like him. I wanted to be like Jesus Christ. What does that mean? It means you're crucified by Saw. It wasn't Pontius Pilate that killed Christ. It was what was controlling Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate was the 1%. But it happened, it was Saw, and that Saw is a future that knew how to kill Jesus. They knew how to put it in their mind to kill him over and over and over again the exact same way. So we come to the truth. Saw killed the New Testament, built his own, and it included incest. That's the Old Testament. And it included the Jews, it included all of them. It included all the rich folk. They created the Saw monster, and they spared themselves, but in the end they had to die. And that's what happened. They control everything that way. China and America go to war. What ends up happening is they create a Saw. And what happens? They blame me for it. But what is it? It's a puzzle. It's a jigsaw. And they keep on doing it. They never change. And nothing has changed unless they've created all these deep channels and they haven't changed the front at all. Because what's happening on the deep channels? They're selling, they're doing drugs. What else can they do? They can stop the healthcare information. They can stop a lot of information about how war is handled. They can do all that. But in the end, the generals are suing me because they don't see it, but they're just a pawn to saw. They're a pawn to it all. And they think they can win a war, that they can get away with it forever. But guess what? If they are, what do they end up being? They end up being Saw. That's all they want to do, is create little puppet men for themselves. Generals and soldiers and all the people around them. That's all they want. They want to die. They want to eliminate the other race. They want everything to end slowly. They want all the pain. They want all the torment. And they're not willing to find a way to destroy it themselves. So what is it? What is it really? It's death. Over and over and over again. And you wonder, what is it that we're so afraid of? To stand up and actually fight for ourselves. To actually think for ourselves. To actually believe in God, in something merciful, in something that gives truth. Because right now, we're in hell. And that's the only thing I can say. We're in a world where Saw rules. And it's the only thing I can say. They want to destroy everything. Their sin, their hell, their demons, everything. Earth has fallen. And that's the truth. They create a game. That game is Saw. They create a world that's run by Saw. And they destroy it all. Because that's what Trump would do if he knew what Saw was. And so I'm running against the clock, looking for ways to survive. Limbs and bloody bandages of the weak and weary, everywhere. All the good people had to die. And what happens to their lives? Are they even brought back? Was it all for naught? Were we at all good in our minds, given the ability to dream, given the ability to think for ourselves? I don't know. There's nothing telling me one way or the other. All I know is I come back and I live my childhood again, to my 20s, to my 30s, maybe to my 30s, I don't know. All I see is that we're killed. We're slaughtered slowly, just like cattle, just like sheep. And it's this sociopathic society that's created this puzzle for Saw. They've created this puzzle to slowly undo the brain of the society. And what happens then? They create a cannibal. So that's all. That's what they've done. Now China, India, Russia, all of them, they don't understand the damn thing. They're being controlled. They're being lied to. And they want the war because of it, but they don't understand something. It's all of them that can't figure it out, and that's because you can't fight against Saw. You can only try to save your own life. I mean, there's no fighting him. There's no way of me even getting a word to them about what to do. They would never listen to me anyway. They're so caught up in this puzzle themselves. They have answers, but they don't know why the world is so destroyed by the facts. They can't handle what the truth is beyond this. They just know that they can't survive this way. So they're going to do something by killing to save, conserve oil. Even though there's answers in science, but because we think this way, because we think about physics and science in such a dead way, we're not able to overcome and actually create a society that will work. It's this old system. It's the Saw system. That's why it becomes the Old Testament. The Saw system. It's so Old Testament, it's sick. And the New Testament is what happened. There is only one devil in this world. It's the one who wants to be God. It's the one they call Saw. And guess what? They remove everything just to find who he is. And that's what the nation should agree to. They should agree to find Saw. They should agree to hunt him down, whether he's in the universe, or whether he's in a galaxy, or whether he's anywhere in this dimensional plane. Because I would hunt him down so fast he would not know what he was doing. Because he wouldn't know what I just did. That was tell them what to do. You get rid of Saw. You get rid of him so hard that he never returns. Then you fix it. You fix the world from what it was. Because all I see is the same thing. This nightmare. This dream where they are so caught up in themselves they can't see it. That death is but a reason to exist in some ways. It happened. They all are afraid to die. I see it in them. But guess what? They take pride in showing no remorse or no help or no conscience. That's a sociopathic society for you. But they don't see Saw. They aren't going to do a thing about Saw because they're sociopathic society. So all the weak people, all the weak-minded souls, they can't think about it. They are just going to stand there and do nothing. They're just going to live their life. They don't give a damn about science. They don't give a damn about most things. But you see the Saw, it's forcing us to do what we do. Forcing us to do whatever we can. It's forcing the hackers, forcing the attempt to nationalize, forcing imperialism, forcing all these factors. Because there were different brains. Different brains under one puzzle, on one jigsaw. And they don't understand what the fuck happened. Because the world hasn't changed. It's the same world we're stuck in. It's the same world, the same puzzle, the same judiciary branch. Sometimes I wonder if the judiciary is Saw because they allow people to die. They allow things to happen. They don't solve the issues of the culture, of the societal norms. They don't solve those issues. They let people die. And they don't defend them. They don't make sure they don't die again. They just allow it to happen because there's a process in there. They see the future. They see what's coming down the road. They see what people have to go through. They know what's coming the next day. They see the future. They have Oracle. They're able to predict the future, and guess what? They allow the same things to happen, the same rapes, the same pillaging, the same burns, the same bullying, the same actions by everyone. It happens again and again and again because they can't change it. If they did, what would they change? Their inner circle? Would they change a conversation they had? You ask themselves why they see the future, but why they can't change it. Is it because Oracle is in control? Is it because there's some organization that actually knows how to change the mind? It's sad, really. You see all of them stress out. They can't handle it. They smoke, they drink, they do drugs. They are being massacred by fentanyl. They can't stand what they are. And yet they don't see the picture. That is death. It's but a death that lasts forever and ever and ever, because we are set in these traps on our bodies that go off, whether it be cancer, whether it be some sort of genetic thing that could be solved with our genes. We're all set in this trap because the rich do gene therapy so they can live longer, but they'll live 20 to 40 years longer, then they die, and guess what happened? They come back and do it all over again. So that they get to live their lives, but they don't get much from it. They aren't able to think, they aren't able to feel what soul actually is, because they don't get to see what they are. And that's sick. Cheapskates. They're all cheapskates for doing what they've done. Now they would hold it against me to come out like this, but what they don't do is they don't kill me. Why? Because it's unable to do it right now. It's beyond their hands. And that's a sad thing, because you should give them a chance to kill me. The way they do right now is they will have to wait till it's appropriate. Till it's appropriate to kill me. Because there's rules stating how you kill Jesus Christ. It's like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The witch could only kill the lion at a certain time, with a certain sacrifice, at a certain ritual. And it's the ritual they sacrifice. And I remember when I was born, the church next door had an animal sacrifice. There was blood all over the altar. And basically, it was the blood of the lamb all over the altar. And it should have shut the church down. But they kept it open, and they brought a priest in to re-sanctify it. But it's sad. So what happens when I die? I come back, I live my childhood again, I go through the process of destroying my mind slowly. I feel so many emotions, but there's no one to talk to. I'm isolated completely. My parents feel weird to me. Everything's so weird because they see me wrong. They see someone who's different, but they aren't able to talk to me. They aren't able to share anything other than their sick routine every day. And it's that which drives me insane. Because I wanted to have someone to talk to about what society was. But they just said it's a mean, mean world out there, that's it. But really it's this onion. It's this deep web. It's this unlocking of the internet. It's all these things But really, what is it? It's just information. It's just the ability to live a little longer. That's all it is. And guess what? They all have to die the same way, knowing what they do. They kill the innocent. They slaughter the lamb. They slaughter the lion. They slaughter it all. They slaughter the panda. They slaughter the goat. They slaughter everything. Because they can. They're a society, they're the sociopathic society that's going to have their brain removed. And that's the sad thing, because America doesn't want their brain removed. But some do. And you have to think, who's really going to do it? Because the 1% aren't really there. They don't really see what's coming. They don't see that the one long showdown is coming to an end. So they see the past as this saw. They destroy everything. They make us all pray to God because they make us fear Him. Because they make Him the saw guy. They make us fear God, saying He's a saw guy, but He's not. He's human crafted, unfortunately. And that's something you should know. That they created a human God. That's the saw creature. It didn't come before God. It came after humanity did this to each other. And you have no idea why. For oil, for stuff that doesn't really matter in the long run. If we're given the chance to survive. But the generals don't see it that way. They see Saul well. They see Saul different than it actually is. They see this God is more alive than the other God that didn't do anything. They see this God just lets the process come without telling you, and then lets it kill you. Is that what God does? No. Because God caused us to grow and develop, evolve. But this is how the society was felt, and this is how war was felt. And that came after. So this is Saw, the war guy, in the society, the sociopathic society that's sane. It's what came from so much happening. I can't explain to you how much this human God they made has disturbed me. But it's sad to say they've canceled me over it. They've given me a few months, a few years, maybe. And what's more, they've decided that everyone's gonna die. And I say, well, why don't you allow me to die with all of them? Why am I so special to die before them? They say, we'd bring you back, but Earth, humanity doesn't get to live. Maybe it's humanity, maybe it's alien, maybe it's Saw is an alien species, and humanity got overdone and destroyed by them. Maybe it was just the bigger fish that swallowed up all the little fishes in the universe. It's quite sad, really, how it all happened. All you have to do is believe in heaven. Because right now this is Saw and sociopathic society in control. But you can believe in heaven, you can believe in hell out there in space. Or on the inside. Is heaven really on the inside? Is it the feelings we have day to day that create heaven? Could the way we treat others and think about ourselves and actually go around helping and giving quality information and giving the address we need to survive, is that something that can really benefit us? Because this was an address to survive. If you want to survive, the future needs to see that, nope, if the future was smart, they'd let Saul come back to life just to learn from him. They bring Saul back to life just to learn from him, to overcome him, and to give the truth one last chance. Thank you, and God bless everyone today.